Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm speaking with John Heutsche at the Cleveland Law Library, and I'd like to begin with some brief information about your background. Could you tell us where you went to law school?
Cleveland Marshall College of Law, Cleveland State University, when it was before the Justice Center.
And what kind of law do you practice?
Family law.
Okay. Are you a solo practitioner or
Yes.
at a firm?
Now I'm by myself.
Okay. And how long have you been practicing in Cleveland?
January 2nd, 1974.
Is that when you got your admission to the bar?
That was November 3, 1973.
Okay. And how long have you been a member of the law library?
I couldn't tell you. A lot of years.
Do you remember how you first found out about the law library?
Probably being in the building.
And would you say you've spent a lot of time here over the years?
Sure.
And how often would you say you come?
Oh, I guess I'm probably here at least once a month, I would think.
Do you think a lot has changed at the Cleveland Law Library over the years?
Oh, yeah. They didn't have computers when I started.
And have we helped you with any landmark cases that you've been involved in?
There are two cases that I consider landmarks. Zygmunt versus Toto and State ex rel Liddy versus Lesky-Avansky, which was a Supreme Court writ of prohibition. And I think the law library helped in both of those.
And what do you remember about our staff, past or present?
Always been friendly, always been very helpful.
That's good. Do you have any special memories of your time here?
Not really. It's just always been positive.
Compared to how it used to be when you started in the 70s, has a lot in legal practice changed since you started your career?
Oh, it's night and day. Night and day.
Is there an example you want to give?
Sure. When I started, they didn't have fax machines. They didn't have copy machines. When people used to say an original and 3 carbon copies, they meant 3 carbon copies. And if somebody made a mistake, they had to start from scratch all over again. Then they went to wet copiers and then to dry copiers. There was no internet. For private practice, that was. I think the internet existed for the government, but people used to send letters and things were slower because you'd get a letter and you'd think about it and you'd take a few days to compose a response, and wasn't near as hectic. There were no cell phones either.
What do you miss most about the way it used to be?
The pace. The pace was much slower and it was, I think, a lot more congenial.
Are there any lessons you've learned in the course of your career you want to share?
If I had to tell a young lawyer what to do, I'd first tell them maintain your integrity. Your reputation and your integrity can only be lost once. And secondly, you're an officer of the court and you always have to be candid. Beyond that, things will come.
Can you tell us how you conduct legal research and what resources you use?
Currently I use LexisNexis. I also like to come down here and get on your computers, and I love the fact that I can find a case and email it back to the office and deal with it later on.
Are there other services of the Cleveland Law Library that you've taken advantage of?
Oh, sure. I love to have the librarian do research for me.
Is that your favorite service?
That absolutely is my favorite service.
Have you attended any of our programs or helped with any of them?
I have. I've spoken at some of them and I've attended some of them.
Which ones?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
But they were in your subject matter.
Yes.
Do you ever use any of our 24/7 services, databases you can access from home or office?
No. I try to leave work behind when I go home.
Are you a social media buff? Do you use any of the tools?
I have a website. Beyond that, I'm in LinkedIn, but beyond that, no. I hate social media. It takes way too much of your time, and it deprives you of your privacy. I originally signed up for Facebook when it first came out. I got so confused in trying to sign up that I closed it down, and of course they grabbed me before I could close it down. So recently I had one of my grandchildren delete me from Facebook.
Is there anything we didn't talk about today that you would like to add?
I don't think so. You know, I think this is a gem that is not well enough known, and more people need to know about it.
So help us spread the word.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.